Hey Libra. And this month, the biggest word that comes to my head is neutralize. So we're gonna go from there. And you may be, Libra suns, excuse me, maybe feeling extremely intuitive. Though Gemini season, this is a great metaphor. Gemini season, just because you know things and are sure of things doesn't mean you have to say them. There's the Gemini season medicine for you. Is just that. Is that you're gonna have a lot of thoughts, and I think the best thing to come back to is neutralizing and what makes you feel free. You have an opportunity, having so many Venusian happenings with Taurus being everywhere, in Mercury and in retrograde in Mercury at the moment, and also entering Venus, which is great for your physical wealth, abundance, and means, but it's also about what controls you. That's what Venus is about as well, is what constricts you, what controls you, what earthly matters matter to you, and that's what essentially controls you. It doesn't mean it has to be a bad thing. It doesn't mean control can't be positive in some aspect, right? And as a cardinal sign, you understand that. Saturn is also going retrograde on the 4th of June in Aquarius, so that also pertains to this, but I think for the most part it's also Capricorn. We'll get more into that into the second part, which will be on a Patreon link below. But this card is very much about what has constrained you, but also is what you desire, what you want, where your physical desires also are your things that hold you back and constrain you as well. They're also what makes this work for them too. So the devil can be depicted in many different ways, but it's what is drawn, like, seductive. That's the word. What are you possibly being seduced by? If there is a month to be neutral, it's now. It is a month of you're going to get these things, though the foundation is rolled. Things are moving as they wish, and it's also important that you focus on your ish. What is most valuable to you is not the same as other people. But you're in this place, and you're in this place where, okay, that's the decision we made. That's the decision that's been made. That's what I'm weighing out. You're realizing more than ever that most of the fights or the struggles that you have are just to do with yourself and your ability to get involved in things that don't pertain to you. And Gemini season, so you've been feeling up and up about all of this and so secure and being more neutral, being just kind of like level grounded for the most part and seeing things as they are, but going about your life as you please. Gemini season is the perfect season to quote unquote test these parts of you that maybe don't feel so secure yet, because there's a few things that come up, but this is the first thing, is that you can be pulled back into either these old ways or pulled into even farther back. Or you can be pulled in directions that you're unwilling, or being tried to be pulled into directions that you're unwilling to compromise at this point with yourself. It's you seem to, the weighing out process is not, it's very static at this point. It's more about being, not so much, it's yin and yang, but it's very neutral. It's very balanced. And what do I mean by that? I mean, there is a push and pull this month, but it's a lot more nuanced. It's a lot more, it's based off of like how does it you perceive yourself? What is the hard work that needs to go into place if Saturn's in retrograde? This is very much that. So I'm only bringing that up because of that. Otherwise, this is all very intuitive for the most part. Well, for the most part, as you know. It's important to be loving and generous to this side of yourself as well. Taurus is very much that, but it's also doing the steps that are needed to be done, but also doing what you need to do for yourself and constantly give to yourself. Anything that's moving slow right now, there's a reason for it. Don't cut it off. You know, let things move as they are. Continue to focus. That's what's really important. And you'll notice that whatever you are maybe fighting yourself about, or whatever you may have blindly, willingly accepted at one point, is coming back around, and you are going to understand what blindly chosen, blindly looked like. You're you know, too busy in your head or too hizzy here or there to actually make a proper decision or pro and con list or something of that sort instead. But now you are rolling around to understanding. By the time Taurus goes, or excuse my words this month, by the time Mercury goes direct on June, I've been saying January too lately. It's been so interesting. Right as Mercury goes direct in Taurus, I think that will start to roll out by the 3rd. You'll start to kind of put all of this together, and it will become, there's lots of pentacles this month, lots of money. It's your emotions and your money are very tied together at the point. There always are, but this seems a little bit more accentuated. By the end of the month, I think what you'll realize is that you've always had it together. That no matter what has, even if something or some place or a specific place has tried to hold you down, and slowly but yet surely they've been just giving you more and more, but yet they're making you do more and more too for some of you. It's about, again, always coming back to like, well, what are your needs? What do you need to work on to build those needs? And you know, it's almost like you need to compromise, and you're becoming more neutral to the fact that instead of thinking as something as a compromise or thinking something in a specific way, you're seeing that there is so much to understand and know, and at this point you're too in your worth to get in a frenzy over something that maybe you even decided for yourself, or wasn't paying enough attention to it, or had all the facts when you decided it, and now it's coming back around, whether it's a way of life or how you perceive something, or something you've been working on, or a certain work situation. It's very clear that this is making maybe money move slowly, but then all of a sudden by the end of the month you'll understand what that was for. There's a lot of restraint that I'm feeling, but it's more of a discipline, which we talk about a lot, from 6 of Pentacles to 6 of Cups. You're being shown where you can sometimes be fooled by what seems and appears to be something better than what it is, but it's also that just because this person is maybe nice to you or gives you things, or it could be even buying your affection, you realize that that's nothing anymore, and that's not what this is about. Going back to the beginning and what I was just talking about too, with your physical needs, and knowing that that's just not enough anymore. You're in a place where you feel so secure, and way too secure to fall for anything, and to just too real with yourself. These Taurus placements, this Empress identity, comes from understanding the physical, no? And we'll talk more about it in the second part. Though you have what all this is such a deep understanding of what all of the physical world is. And the fact that one of the signs that can actually perfect the way that can look. And again, perfect is relative, right? So, and maybe other people deem it that way, and maybe they are, revealing who, people constantly reveal themselves to you, right? Whether it be a positive or a negative experience. The positive thing is that it happened and that you saw it for what it is. And I think every Libra sun, Libra rising should know that I think Libra moons have a tendency to understand that a little bit more. haven't been moving through your emotions forever, though there's this very obvious thing that more than ever you may, and if you want to donate or give charity and give your time in a way that is productive for you, know that it's only going to bring, whether your name is on it or not, it's going to bring way more than you had expected, and it will make you feel way just even more in this mode of I am on it and I own it and I am who I am, and this complete sovereignty, this complete sovereignty about yourself. And having these sixes come out towards the end shows you that some things, for some of you, it's not being caught up in the same situation, but for others of you, it's this ability to discern who is giving you crumbs when they think they're giving you flowers, who's giving you pretty words instead of substance. And it doesn't, this for a lot of you, this could be romantics. For those of you who are not partnered, there's a lot of opportunity for romance this month. Just know that anything that comes in at the beginning of the month, most likely you'll be jaded by the air of Gemini season. You might just be a little, so I wouldn't weigh too heavy on it. For others of you, you see what Capricorn or that specific person who works hard at every aspect of their life and giving effort and energy, knowing that it's a step-by-step thing, knowing it's the day-by-day process, understanding that that's what brings the security and the solidness in the foundation, but it's also what constrains you to the outcome, right? It's like you're doing this for an outcome and you understand that now, but now you're putting more of your value into it and you're not hesitating to anymore. And that relieves this part of you that allows to see yourself as secure, see yourself as stable. Maybe you meet someone extremely stable and they show you everything that you used to not get or understand. Maybe it's this coming together of you yourself is now meeting someone who treats you as you are the Empress, right? Because you're doing it for yourself more than ever, which is the best thing. That's even better than meeting someone if you're speaking to me. But then when you meet someone, it's just that much sweeter, it's that much better. And for some reason, you just don't have it in you. Like, you'll feel raw and vulnerable, but it's more in a way where it's like relieving. Like, you're so in Gemini season that it's like feels so okay to be yourself, even if there is a fight or even if there is some friction with someone. I don't think this is with anyone outside of yourself. I really don't. I think this is all about you going back and forth and understanding why, or you understand that you need to make a decision because you realize that if you don't, just to let it go, it will fester. Or you coming slowly, you've come to this understanding that of why you've been going back and forth about something, and you realize it, and something happens where, it then reveals this outcome of the King of Pentacles of this is what it's been all along. From the Knight to the King, it's not, all of this was for something, and you've also had to learn that, to let that go in the process, and that can be rather difficult. I told Capricorn, actually I just did the Capricorn reading, which is funny, and I told them that I'm repotting things and they're growing and expanding in that way, and I want you to kind of think of that in a certain extent. You're more dispersing, you're finding yourself very focused and directed, but yet there's something about you that's growing in a way that is very, there's just so much sovereignty. There's this autonomy that you get to have, that you have with yourself, even more so, because I think, and that was really weird, but I think one of the perceptions about you can be true sometimes, and about us that can be true sometimes, is that you don't always go off of your true own answers because you're not always sure what they are, but the more sure you are of your beliefs, even knowing that a couple truths can be true at the same time and exist at the same time, it brings you to this understanding, this deeper understanding of yourself in a way that no matter what someone perceives about you, you don't have to oblige. And you're not afraid to say what needs to be said this month. You're getting these realizations of and understanding what the past 6 years of your life has been, what all of this was. So 2014? 2016, sorry. 6 years ago brings you to 2016. Math. It's very focused and centered on this connection, this you realizing that you have been given so much more depth, understanding, compassion, caring, growth, not only like growth in yourself and in relationships, but creative growth, this confidence that is long lasting and not something that just you wear on your body for a little while. I know. This is the fabric of it all. And I just felt like I need to spend a little more time with you because there's so much, more that I want to say to you, but we'll get into it in the second part. And there's always Cancer season because there's a lot of flow coming. So neutralize. Being neutral will get you where you need to go this month. And also enjoying the experience no matter what it is, because you will feel that raw creative energy like you've never felt before. So go with it. All right, Libra? I'll see you in the second part. We'll get more into it. Don't fight with anyone. It's not worth it. I love you, and I'll see you next month.